Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today's card is a fun fold card using the Sweet Ice Cream Swirl bundle that is in the January through April 2024 Stampin' Up catalog. I love this stamp set because the ice cream cone is big, like every ice cream cone should be. And it uses the stamps and the ice cream swirl dies on the two cards I'm going to show you. And it has the make a wish, hope your day is sweet, thanks for everything. You could add any birthday sentiment to this that you have from another stamp set as well. I love the strawberry, cherry, and a little donut, and you even can make it a sundae using the bottom part of the cone with a straw and the ice cream. So let's take a look at this fun fold. Isn't this cute? I kept looking at the ice cream cone and I thought, how can I make that ice cream end up being two serve double duty there? So I did a little fun fold here, and let me show you how I did. I have all my little pieces here to show you. Fun, fun, fun. I'm starting out with a piece of Poppy Parade, and I am using the Poppy Parade because that is the color that's in the celebration paper that's still going on till the end of February, and it is the Sunny Days paper, and it has strawberries and cherries in it. And so I decided to use the Poppy Parade on both of them with the shaded spruce that's also in there. So you're just going to take a 11" by 4 1/4. You're going to score it at 5 1/2, and then I'm just going to score each one of those 5 1/2 sections in half at 2 3/4. Score there, and I'm going to turn this over and score 2 3/4. I will have wrote down underneath the description and on my blog post underneath the description. If you look under, it says visit my blog here. Just press that link and it'll take you over for additional photos and information. There's also links to my online store at underneath the description as well. It was just easier to just go 5 1/2, but you figure it's 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and then I am not going to do any higher math right now, but I'll let you know what that measurement is there. Oh, I can tell you right now, it is 8 1/4. So 2 3/4, 5 1/2, 8 1/4, and essentially you have 4 equal panels now, and we're going to end up folding this part down here. Oh, whoop. Okay, let's take a look at the card here. The card, this is the way it goes. It's going to fold this way. I went ahead and put this fold here. It made it easier for me to pop this ice cream cone in here. So when you have it closed and you want to open it, it's easier to have that fold there, but it still stands up on its own nicely for someone to display. But that, when I first made it, I didn't have the score line in here, but putting that score line in there just made it easier to open instead of like bending it and opening it that way. So there we go. So we've got that simple fun fold there. Okay, and then we flatten it back out. And what I did is I put, and I'm going to be using some of my glue here. There we go. I'm going to put some of that, and because these sections are 2 3/4 high and 4 1/4 wide, I just made my first layer from the card base 4 inches wide and 2 1/2. That meant my strawberries were going to be, and I did cut my strawberries from the same sheet of paper, so there we go. So that made my strawberry paper, which, oh, it had pretty butterflies on the back of it. There we go. Some glue on there. It looks like my glue is getting scarce there. That makes that 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then I made this card first without the shaded spruce, but the shaded spruce really added to the card. It really pulled out the shaded spruce that was in the cute little strawberry tops. So we're just putting that 2 2.5 by 3 3/4 piece. And then we'll put the DSP. I love that this DSP had actually strawberries and cherries in it. Two perfect things that coordinate with ice cream. So there we go. We have this nice little scene right there. And then I put right here for your place to write your message. Right here. And I just went ahead and made that white 4 inches by 2.5, the same as the green, because I consulted my friend and she said, yeah, I think you don't need the green there. And then I'm just using my Poppy Parade dark, and I'm going to color in that strawberry. There we go. I love the stamping buttons are so easy to use. Look at that, no streaking at all. It makes everything look so nice and clean without the streaks. And then I use the shaded spruce. There's a tiny little piece on the cherry right here where you can see green, and the strawberry has a little more green leaves on it. And I just stamped that in my Memento Black. Remember, when you're using blends, you have to use Memento Black because it's not an alcohol-based ink pad. Now, if you were going to use blender pens or you're going to do some watercoloring, you're going to want to use StazOn ink. It is alcohol-based and it won't react with watercoloring or using your blender pens because they're different compounds, but these are alcohol based and StazOn is alcohol based, and if you use those together it just becomes a muddled mess. So make sure you use the Memento Black ink, which is a dye based ink and not an alcohol based ink. So we've got that cute little strawberry there, and you could have done that strawberry in the petal pink as well. Got some pretty colors too. Actually, you could have made it a, what do they call those new pine berries that are in the store now that are, yeah, that's a pine berry. Now that I think about it, yes. I've been wanting to try that out on my grandson and see if he notices it. So there you've got your fun fold, and it's almost done. Now we just have to look at this ice cream cone. Now the fun thing about this stamp set is you can stamp your ice cream cone with the ice cream top, or you can die cut. Now, I'm going to show you those two different ways that I did this. So I could, on this one, because I had a white base with the cherries, I used the Poppy Parade as the bottom part, and then I used the white as the swirls. On this one, if I were going to do this, I would want to use the white cone, and then I would put the Poppy Parade swirls so that the white would stand out against this darker color here. But I wanted to show you how fun this looks with stamped images. So I just stamped a Poppy Parade on my ice cream, and then I cut it out with this larger swirl die because there's a larger die right here, and then the swirls fit inside that. And I want to show you how I got a good cut with these two ice cream cones. Now the die in this set comes as one big die that cuts two. Why is that amazing? That is amazing when you die cut it out, that you can make it into a cute little card itself. So you could put a little saying in there and have a cute little tag if you want to on a gift bag or something with ice cream. So that is super cute. But that also lets you cut out two of your ice cream cones at one time. And then you can just cut them right on that score line. And now you have two ice cream cones. Now, I find it easy to use my Stamparatus or stamp positioning tool. We don't carry this anymore, but I'm just going to show you because I already have it on here. And I just took my I just took my pecan pie and I stamped it. This way, if I ended up not getting a clean image, I could just stamp it again, but it turned out nicely. So sometimes I find it difficult to get my die. It's sometimes hard to see that edge. Now this one's working pretty nicely. So what I do, my little trick, is I keep my negative, and then when you put that negative, do you see how you get a beautiful little border there? And I told my girls at class last week that I do this with almost every image I cut out. I just make a template from the negative, and all you have to do is like put a little tape there, put this die in like that, and then I just put a little piece of something to hold the die down, run it through, and I get a perfect cut each time. So that's a little trick you can do. I mean, you can certainly do this, but the first time I did it, I was a little bit off. So my little trick, make your template, put your template around the image, tape it down, then the die will just slip right into that template. It just holds itself in there. And if you want to, you can put another little piece of tape on that, run it through, and you're going to have a good cut. So look at these cute little stamped ice cream cones. But I want to show you how amazing this ice cream cone is. There is a little die, not a little die, a big die. And when you run, and I actually ran this right inside the die cut machine. It fits in there very nicely. You just put it right in there, run it through, and then you have your other part. You put that die in there, like that, fits in there, run it through, and then you end up with this really fun ice cream cone die. Is that cute or what? I love it. So you can make an ice cream cone with just dies, or you can do one with stamped images. So let me put that back there. Okay, so let's work here on this one. So what I did is I'm going to make sure I put it right at like just a little below the green is where my ice cream cone is going to be. I just want to make sure I wasn't putting too much glue where it shouldn't be. Put some glue. Don't want to go the whole way to the top because you're going to, okay, and I just did that right about the middle and just about to the bottom. So we've got our ice cream, and you do want to make sure this is nice and secure because you're going to be playing around with it. And then, oh, I almost thought I did that wrong. This one is going to go inside here, and what I did was I kind of measured, not measured, but I used this one as how far it should go down, and it's going to close because we have that clearance. Now this one can have glue the whole way on it because it's going to stay stationary. So what I did again is I just lined it up against that, and then I pretty much knew it was in the right place. And you have that ice cream cone here. And now the little trick is we're going to put together the ice cream cone. And that one has to go a little bit above as well because we're going to tuck it under. Okay, so it's going to get tucked under there like that, and then we can pull it out. So we're going to put dimensionals under there. Let me get my dimensionals here. And just remember, it's going to probably be right where this, you're going to put them up above where these two swirls go. So when we turn it back, we're going to use these two as our place where we can put them. Okay, so let's just, and this is one instance where it pays to be a little frivolous with your dimensionals because you're going to be slipping that ice cream cone under it. And you know, when you get a fun fold, you just sit and play with it. And I'm sure the people who get our cards think they're really cool and they sit and play with them. So I did get a little bit. This might be a good time you could use your foam strips too. Put a few foam strips across there. At class, when we made our Enduring Beauty, I actually cut out a piece of fun foam and we glued it, and it gave one big dimensional. So that's fun too. So we're gonna put this here on our, and you wanna have it just go just about to the top of your card with all the dimensionals. And you'll see here, this is where it's easy to pull that out. When I didn't have this score line here, when I first made the card, it bent it, but now, there you go. And then we're gonna put a strawberry on there to go with the motif on our designer series paper. Just pop that cutie patootie on there. We have a little strawberry. I kind of like the way the strawberry pops off that white. That's cute. And then I did a sentiment that's in that stamp set. Hope your day is sweet. And what I did with that is I used some of the edges of my dimensionals that I've got here. Yes, I used a couple of these little pieces here. And the die that I used to cut this out that was the perfect size was the, okay, I just had them here. Okay, it was the Wild Ferns dies. The Wild Ferns dies had a nice square. I have to tell you, I bought these dies first because of these, this one, a smaller one, and the next one. I'm a sucker for any type of die that cuts out a sentiment, and I love the stitching on that too. And this also has the corner edges, very similar to the stamp set that's in the annual catalog that has the flowering, and I can't think of the name of it right now. I'll put it on my blog, but I just loved this, and I love these dies. So that is the Wild Ferns dies, and I thought that was a perfect one to cut out that sentiment. So here's my little bit of my dimensionals using up all those little leftover pieces, and this worked really fun on the front of the card. Hope your day is sweet. And I think I'm gonna find some other little embellishments to put on there. So make sure you tune back in and look on my blog at the photos there. Then I stamped this Make a Wish from the stamp set as well. And I find using my big scissors, and I just kind of cut them into straight little rectangles. And just using my big scissors, I tend to have a better straight line there. And I thought the Make a Wish would look cute on the inside. And cut out this A. There we go. So Make a Wish. And when you open up that card, you can put your little words there. Sometimes when the words, you want to get them onto your card, but you don't have the perfect die cut to cut out the words, or you're not exactly how to put it on an image. A lot of times it's fun to just, as a design element, just cut the words out. And they don't have to be perfect either. I think I'm gonna put the A on last. I'll put the wish, make a wish, and now I can place that A in there. There you go. So putting the ice cream cone on this panel here and not putting designer series of paper really made it stand out, and Make a Wish really decorated that panel since each one of these panels is decorated. And then you just pop that ice cream cone there, and after it is done, it can sit on its own like that. So there are two ways to use not only the Sunny Days celebration paper with the cherries and the strawberries, which is free. With a $50 order, you can pick that 12 sheet designer series paper, which has like rainbows and clouds. It's a really cute paper. I think it's being overlooked a little bit. It probably maybe one of my lesser ordered ones, because the Most Adored and the Stippled Blossoms and the tools were really amazing and went with other things. But take a look at this Sunny Days paper. Really cute, different motifs in the pattern paper. And then you can either stamp your ice cream cone in the ice cream swirl, or you can die cut and put this fun embossed imprinted design into your ice cream cone, and you can die cut, and you could make these any color you want. Also, these pieces that fall out of this die, you could also, if you were using maybe the lighter than air paper that's really pretty with all those pastels, you could be making a rainbow ice cream cone, like put one color here and put another color in here, another, so it would have a real festive, pretty look to it. So this super set, you can also make a little kind of a sundae there with a straw, and you also can cut out a bunch of sprinkles to put over your ice cream cone. So you could put sprinkles, but that you can also, I saw somebody use a light green and then put these and made a mint chocolate chip ice cream cone. So many possibilities. I did have the ice cream punch, and I like that. It made a nice smaller ice cream cone, but I really do like the effect of this big one, and especially the fact that when you cut out this ice cream cone, you can fold it into a tag, which is really fun. You could put that as, you know, on a gift bag or something. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can always contact me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. I also have a new Gmail that's cindyleebedesigns.com that you can email me at as well. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to text me or call me at 724-323-2296. Thanks for buzzing by, friends.